Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today we have the Mudita Kompakt. And I have been using this device for the last few days. Again, as my work phone, I cycle through in my work phones to test a lot of things on these devices and see if they're workable. But one of my favorite devices has always been the Mudita Kompakt. And one of the qualms that I used to have was essentially the typing experience. It wasn't great, it wasn't amazing, but now it is. They have fixed the keyboard and this is very much improved. I personally prefer some of these small improvements. It used to be a little bit more slower, and now you can type with more accuracy and you have the suggestions are much better. Now, you can still use other keyboards if you like, especially Fudo is one of my favorites, but they have made significant improvements to the speed. As you see right there, whenever you delete something, it's much faster. I am going to type right here. This is Jose. And this is an example of the keyboard. As you see, I am not missing any strokes and everything was typed very easily without any issues. I love this. It fixes typos in real time as you type. You have easier access to special characters now. They're not only up there, but you can also get them here at the bottom. They're still, kind of like you can get to emojis, but it's a little bit, it's not complicated. It's just like not as intuitive since there is no icon right there in order for you to use it. But again, you do have access to more symbols and an improved typing experience, even the delete experience, as you will see right here. It is much faster. The engine, the refresh rate, e-ink sometimes suffers from that reputation of that it is slow. Not in this case. They continue to optimize the software, which is thoroughly appreciated. The second feature that they have included is in the GPS application. So if you go to your settings and you go to your GPS location sharing, now you have two ways of doing it. You have the regular use your current location and you have assisted GPS. Assisted GPS is using not only your regular GPS chipset, but other things like the Wi-Fi or the data connection. This is completely optional. It's not something that you have to allow them, which I do appreciate that for privacy reasons. And then you can do it granularly with extra apps. So right there, you have weather, you have maps, and you can also do it with different applications. I have loaded Comaps. That's just my preferred application when it comes to having, some of the mapping features. But if you go to the regular Maps application, it is much improved as well with this regular Maps application that they include with their, as you see right there, it already located me in the Denver metro area. And it's amazing, right? It's very fast, especially when you use the assisted GPS. And if you don't, you will still have a decent experience. Now, as you see, the maps refresh rate is still a little slow. It takes a little bit of time to get through it. That's why I personally use Comaps, because Comaps is much faster, much improved. Again, this is a team trying to do the small utilities on their own. But for example, right here, if I do it on the Comaps application, it just refreshes just at a faster rate, much improved than the regular Maps application that it comes with. So yes, that's one of the advantages of the Mudita Kompakt. You can make some small customizations here and there if you want to, but I am glad to see that they're continuing to improve the preloaded applications to the level that it matches the experience that most people are looking for. So again, the assisted GPS, much improved, much faster. It locks pretty easily. And if you're using a regular Maps application, it may be a little bit slower, or you'll be able to share that extra assisted GPS in the future. So yeah, two amazing improvements. The last few things I want to mention is that this update improved the privacy. So if you go to System and Crash Reporting, you can opt out of those collects, and that improves in your privacy because that allows you to opt out of Sentry mode. So if you don't want to send diagnostic reporting, if you don't want to share that usage data, you can do that. Again, this is a company that's highly committed to privacy, digital minimalism. So those are just amazing things. I personally love a lot of those things. On the language and keyboard section as well, you are not limited to only one language. Again, you have a lot of them here, but if you speak Czech, you now have that language added and multiple layouts. So if you want to use a different layout, let's see where we can find it. I think it's probably in preferences. I think, yes, there it is. Custom input styles, language English, or any of the other language that they have. And you can do a layout QWERTY, QWERTZ, AZERTY, Dovrak, and Colmac. So again, depending on your preferences for typing, that is up to you, but you do have that ability. And just having that optionality, I think, is an amazing feature for an amazing company that continues to make their device better and better. I'm going to continue testing. Hopefully, it stays my personal work device. That's one of the things. I kind of juggle different work devices, but for my work device, this is my latest edition. I'm excited to see how it works out, and hopefully stays that way. And if not, I'll continue testing and seeing what is my preferred work device for all of these things. Again, if you need WhatsApp, if you need extra little applications here and there, just make sure that they do not require the Google Play Services framework. If they don't, you're good to go. And there's a tool called Plexus that you can check that. I will put that in the comments below, and a link also to get the device if you're interested in it. But this update makes it much more usable, much faster when it comes to GPS. Very good improvement. Quality of life improvements are the best improvements in my opinion, although I do appreciate new features. But I'm just really excited to see how this company continues to mature, and hopefully they can bring us even better additions in the future. Anyways, if you have any questions about this device or any of the other devices I have reviewed, make sure to put them in the comments below, and I'll be interacting with you guys. Thank you for watching. See you next time.